Coming up on the Children's Hour, join in our Kids Crew conversation with the beloved children's authors Goosebumps, R.L. Stine, and Marc Brown. He's the author and illustrator of the Arthur books and TV show on PBS Kids. We discover their secrets to creating some of the most widely read kids' books of all time. The authors are good friends in real life, and they collaborate on illustrated children's books together. Their latest is Why Did the Monster Cross the Road? We learn about the story behind that book, and Jude from our Kids Crew will give us a review. Stick with us for a reading and writing episode of the Children's Hour. The Children's Hour is produced by the Children's Hour Incorporated. We're a New Mexico-based nonprofit organization dedicated to giving kids opportunities to create radio. You can learn a lot more about us at childrenshour.org.
It's time for the Children's Hour, Kids Public Radio.
What does a librarian use for fishing?
I don't know.
Bookworms.
It's time for the Children's Hour, Kids Public Radio.
I'm your favorite book. I'm your favorite book. I'm your favorite book. I'm your favorite book. Pick me up when you need a friend. I'm tried and true from start to end. See my pages, floppy ears from listening in. Yeah, at the end. Oh, I'm your favorite book. 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 Yeah, we've got history, and it ain't no mystery. In your biography, spin you and me like poetry. I've been so many things. I've been castles filled with queens and kings, cows jumping and dinosaurs. I've been cats and hats and flying cars. I'm your favorite book. 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 See me sitting by your lamp, pack me for sleep, but we camp in the sun on the sandy beach. Keep me within your reach. I'm your favorite book. 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 Day by day, you turn the page and everything's okay. I got you, you got me. Another chapter in this story. Between each line, you learn that everything will turn out fine. I've got you, you've got me. Yeah, you've got me. Yeah, you've got me. It's our history. So come take a look. Come take a look. Come take a look in your eyes. I'm there for you. I'm your favorite book. 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 I'm your favorite book.
That was Recess Monkey with Your Favorite Book right here on the Children's Hour. Hello, I'm Katie Stone. I'm here with some of my favorite people. Who's with us today?
Hello, it's Amadeus.
Hi, it's Lucas D.
Hello, it's Amaya.
Hi, it's Kaibia.
Hi, it's Thorfinn.
Hi, it's Nina.
Hi, it's Daniel.
Hi, it's Joe.
Hi, this is Jude.
Hi, it's Lily May.
Well, thanks you all for being with me here on the Children's Hour and all our listeners out on radio stations and podcasts. Today, we're going to have some of our favorite authors of all time with us, and I bet you know their work too. We're meeting R.L. Stine, the author of the Goosebumps books series, and Marc Brown. He's the author and illustrator of the Arthur books. And they have collaborated on some kids' books too, and the latest is out now, and we're going to have a review of that. But what does it take to write for kids? We're going to find out. Follow along on our playlist at childrenshour.org. Look for this episode, Reading and Writing. This is Ben Tater and the Tater Tots, right here on the Children's Hour. Stick with us.
Can you write a song about broccoli? They say it can't be done. It can't be done. Can you write a song about broccoli? They say it can't be done. It can't be done. I've tried 1,000,000 times writing broccoli rhymes about how much I love it so. I keep trying again with staff, paper, and pen, but the universe always seems to tell me no. Whoa, 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 whoa. Can you write a song about broccoli? They say it can't be done. No, it can't be done.
Be sure it isn't written too sloppily.
It can't be done. It just can't be done. Every time I sit down to try to write a song, the ink flows fast on the page. But broccoli, the topic seems to treat me wrong. I always end up with nothing to say. Yeah, 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 yeah. Can you write a song about broccoli? It can't be done. It can't be done.
Why don't you represent your veggies equally?
It can't be done. It can't be done. This writer's block about the brock, it puzzles my brain, it's true. But every woman and man at the produce stand, they ask me all the time, I just don't know what to do. Woo, 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 woo. Woo, 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 woo. Woo, 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 woo.
You're listening to the Children's Hour. That was Ben Tater and the Tater Tots. And we are joined today by some of the most beloved children's authors of all time. First, the author of more than 100 Goosebumps books, R.L. Stine.
Hi.
And the author of the Arthur books and TV series, Marc Brown.
Hi.
Well, we're so delighted you're with us today on the Children's Hour, and the kids have a ton of questions for you. So let's start with Amadeus.
How did each of you get your start in writing?
Well, I started when I was 9 years old. I was this weird kid sitting in my room typing all day. And I just somehow knew when I was 9 that I wanted to be a writer. My parents didn't understand at all. My mother used to stand outside the door and she'd say, "What are you doing? Stop. What's wrong with you? Stop typing. Go outside and play." And I'd say, "It's boring out there." Type, 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 type. I just kept at it. I knew I don't know why. Why did I like it so much? I just did.
It worked out for you, Bob.
It's a living.
I'd say.
So I started because I lost my job as a teacher. I was teaching in a college and it closed. And my son was born and he liked bedtime stories. And I came home from the night when I knew I didn't have a job anymore. And he said, Dad, will you tell me a bedtime story? And I said, I don't really feel like it. I just lost my job. I'm really depressed. He said, Oh, Dad, maybe it'll make you feel better. And he was right. And so I don't know why, but I started thinking alphabetically about animals, and aardvark popped out. And then he wanted to know his name. And then I thought about, if I were an aardvark, what would I have as a problem? And it would definitely be my nose. So that's how the first book happened. And then it turned into a series. And then it turned into a TV series and maybe a movie. And so I'm kind of embarrassed about talking about that.
Why?
Because it's success that happened too soon. And I still don't think of myself as a writer. I think of myself as an illustrator. But, I grew up with a great-grandmother and a grandmother who told us stories whenever we wanted them. And I think that gave me the confidence to make up stories.
I think this crew has a lot of grandmothers who tell them stories.
That's great.
When you published the first Arthur book, Arthur's Nose, did you change anything for the bedtime story you told your kid?
It was pretty much the same. And may I ask you a question? Who's your cat that's walking on the bed behind you?
That's Crookshanks. She I was trying to get her out of the video, but I guess she went over there instead.
Cute. She should have some questions.
That's pretty cute, Thorfinn. So Lily May's having a hard time connecting here on Zoom, and she asks a question on the chat. Do you put a part of your personality into your characters?
I hope not. My stories are all monsters. They're all frightening. I hope there's none of my personality in there. I am part of Arthur. I feel like I'm in my books. My sister Bonnie became Francine. I combined all three of my little sisters to make DW. My best friend became Buster and the Brain, two of my best friends. And Mr. Ratburn was my 7th grade algebra teacher. And my biggest fear was, will I be sued for this work that I've done?
Why?
I got a letter from Mr. Ratburn after I started doing the Arthur books, and I thought, oh no, he's really angry. And I opened it up, and I was shocked. He was like so nice, unlike what he was like when he was my teacher. And he said he was visiting elementary schools in Erie, Pennsylvania, where I grew up, and talking to kids and reading books and talking about the importance of reading. And I thought, wow, it was like a total 180-degree turnabout for him.
Wow. That's Marc Brown. He's the author and illustrator of the Arthur books and TV series. And with us also is R.L. Stine, the author of more than 350 Goosebumps books. And together, they've written a couple of illustrated children's books. We've got their latest with us, and we're going to talk more about that in a little bit. Plus, we have a book review. We hope you don't go anywhere. There's a lot more with R.L. Stine and Marc Brown and our kids crew. But first, this is Ants on a Log.
Ask me, what book am I reading? Look at me like I know things. Ask me, what book am I reading? Look at me like I know things. Ask me which historical figure might I invite to dinner. I've got smart things to say. but you might hear much less if you start all your conversations.
My, what a beautiful dress.
Ask me, what book am I reading? What book am I reading? What book am I reading? Maybe if you're lucky, I'll ask you what book you're reading too. It's my favorite holiday, our family New Year's Eve. We'll stay up till midnight, it'll be next year when you all leave. We'll make homemade pizza for our winter celebration. But some of you adults need some help with conversation. Ask me, what book am I reading? What book am I reading? Ask me, what book am I reading? Look at me like I know things. Ask me, which new invention should go in your collection? I've got smart things to say, but you might hear much less if you start all your conversations.
Ooh, I love your dress.
Ask me, what book am I reading? What book am I reading? What book am I reading? And maybe if you're lucky, I'll ask you what book you're reading too.
We've got cake and ice cream, happy birthday to me. We'll stay up till midnight telling jokes and watching bad TV. Now I'm 1 year older and you're wondering what to get me. For my birthday, just tell me more than you are so pretty.
Ask me, what book am I reading? What book am I reading? Maybe if you're lucky, oh maybe if you're lucky, yeah maybe if you're lucky, yeah maybe if you're lucky, and maybe if you're lucky, I'll ask you.
You can write, you can write, you can write
what you hear.
You can write, you can write, you can write.
Say it loud.
I can write,
stretch it out.
I can write
whatever I want.
I can write, I can write, I can be
a super writer. Say the word, stretch it out. Hear the sound, write it down.
You're a writer when you try it. My super writers, you're never wrong. You can write, you can write, you can write
what you hear.
You can write, you can write, you can write.
Say it loud.
I can write,
stretch it out.
I can write
whatever I want.
I can write, I can write, I can be
a super writer.
If there's a story you wanna tell, right. You know you can write it now.
Cool. Mark your papers, super writers. It's time to share.
Okay.
Now read aloud.
You can write, you can write, you can write
what you hear.
You can write, you can write, you can write.
Say it loud.
I can write,
stretch it out.
I can write
whatever I want.
I can write, I can write, I can be
a super writer.
If you can't hear the sounds in the words, slow down, slow down.
If you can't hear the sounds in the words, slow down.
If you can't hear the sounds in the words, stretch it out.
If you can't hear the sounds in the words, stretch it out.
You can write, you can write, you can write
what you hear.
You can write, you can write, you can write.
Say it loud.
I can write,
stretch it out.
I can write
whatever I want.
I can write, I can write, I can be
a super writer.
You can write, you can write
what you hear.
You can write, you can write, you can write.
Say it loud.
That was the Alphabet Rockers from the release called Go, and before that, Ants on a Log from Make It Myself. In the background, you're hearing Poddington Bear. Today on the show, we're talking with R.L. Stine, the author of the Goosebumps books, and Marc Brown, the author of the Arthur series. We've got a lot more questions for them, so stick with us.
You're listening to the Children's Hour, Kids Public Radio. We'll be right back.
New Mexico Department of Cultural Affairs supports the Children's Hour. Museum Hill in Santa Fe, New Mexico is where arts, culture, and nature converge. Plan your visit at museumhill.net. You can keep up with the Children's Hour by signing up for our monthly newsletter at childrenshour.org. Do you have an old car, boat, or motorcycle cluttering your yard? Learn how you can turn your unwanted vehicle into Kids Public Radio at childrenshour.org.
Baba Bomani, BabaGotBars.com. When I do a show or an assembly, a student always comes up to me and asks, how do I take my ideas and turn them into a song? I tell them it's the writing process. They usually ask, what's the writing process? So I realized I needed to use the writing process to write a song about the writing process. Are you following me? Let's do this.
When I wanna write something and my thoughts are all a mess, I put it all together with the writing process. I got thoughts I must express or issues I must address. The way to do it best is the writing process. Pre-writing, drafting, revising, editing, publishing. 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 When I'm pre-writing, I'm brainstorming what's gonna happen. So before I start rapping, I begin by mind mapping. Start by writing down on paper everything I feel like telling. No worries about grammar, punctuation, handwriting, or spelling. Now, my ideas in pieces. This is the genesis. I'm turning my research into a working thesis. Once I've gathered ideas, then I make an outline. This works for letters, essays, book speeches, or rhymes. The audience and the purpose sets me on the right path. Who am I writing for, and what arguments do I have with those questions asked? I make my first draft. There's no exact answer. This ain't science or math. To perfect the tone and style, I must revise it, so I read it. I see what else is needed and what needs to be deleted. Like a garden when you water it and weed it, then I repeat it. No reason to feel defeated. You'll know when it's completed. When I wanna write something and my thoughts are all a mess, I put it all together with the writing process. I got thoughts I must express or issues I must address. The way to do it best is the writing process. Pre-writing, drafting, revising, editing, publishing. 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 I've done pre-writing, drafting, revising, and I reread it. Now I put that polish on it, cause I'm gonna edit. I proofread and correct errors in grammar and mechanics. This part can be a terror, but there is no need to panic. Let me tell you what I'm gonna do. I take my time and read it through. I find another writer to give it to, because 4 eyes are better than 2. I make edits to improve on the clarity and style. Remember to be patient, because this might take a while. I can publish it in so many ways. Print it out on a page, read it at class or on stage. Depends on the audience I want to engage. An email blast, television broadcast, an article with photographs, or my podcast, maybe a performance with a cast. Most important thing is that I get it out, and that I'm clear on what I'm talking about. So when I get on the microphone and put it on a track, you can bounce your head to the writing process when you play it back. When I wanna write something and my thoughts are all a mess, I put it all together with the writing process. I got thoughts I must express or issues I must address. The way to do it best is the writing process. Pre-writing, drafting, revising, editing, publishing. 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 Yeah, that's it, y'all. Follow those 5 steps. Pre-writing, drafting, revising, editing, publishing, and you'll be a better writer. Let's run this one more time. Yeah. Pre-writing, drafting, revising, editing, publishing. Pre-writing, drafting, revising, editing, publishing, pre-writing, drafting, revising, editing, publishing, pre-writing, drafting, revising, editing, publishing.
Baba Bomani from Baba Got Bars with Writing Process. You're listening to the Children's Hour. Today we're talking about writing for kids with children's authors R.L. Stine, the author of the Goosebump series, and Marc Brown. He's the illustrator and author of the Arthur book and TV series. The kids have a ton of questions for our guests. Let's go over to Max.
How many books did you write?
I've written about 150 Goosebumps books. We've been doing Goosebumps for 30 years. The new Goosebumps series is called Goosebumps House of Shivers. The new book just came out just now. And the very first book is called Scariest Book Ever. I wanted it to be one of my scariest Goosebumps books to start the new series. I hope everybody likes it.
Oh, I can't wait to read it. How about you, Marc?
I think I've written about 130 books or illustrated also in there. And I like to collaborate with other people because, as I said earlier, I think of myself mostly as an illustrator. I've worked with my wife, Lori, on several books that are nonfiction. One is about divorce, one is about death. I've worked with Judy Sierra on several books. I like the way she writes for kids. So, every project is a new adventure for me. And like with Bob said, oh, you're doing collage. It's so time consuming with our book. But I just felt when I read the book and the manuscript, I could see the pictures. And so I wanted to do cut paper for this book with Why Did the Monster Cross the Road? And it did take a lot of time, but I imagine it maybe being illustrated and animated. And I think that the art could lend itself very well to animation, not unlike South Park, where they use the cut paper figures to move the characters around. So, yeah.
Marc created two wonderful monsters for Why Did the Monster Cross the Road? They're called Honey and Funny. And the whole story is about Funny trying to get Honey to laugh. But these monsters, I always say, Marc, you do everything the hard way. They're wonderful. But he can you imagine he painted all these monsters and then he cut them out and then he put them in the art. Hey, why did the monster cross the road?
I don't know. Why?
To bite someone on the other side.
We knew monsters might do that. Let's go to you, Amaya.
This is for both of you. It might be a strange question, but I was just wondering what age group are your books geared towards?
Well, I think mostly the Arthur books are sort of 4 to 8 year olds, but when the television show started, we discovered something really interesting, that much younger kids who were watching Sesame Street would take in these stories about Arthur, and older kids too that had a different reading level. So that's why the chapter book started. Bob, who do you think your audience is?
Well, Why Did the Monster Cross the Road is for, I say, 3-year-olds and up. I think they would enjoy it. Goosebumps is for 7 to 11-year-olds. But of course, the people who originally started reading Goosebumps 31 years ago, they're all on Medicare. Hey, I am.
We're talking with R.L. Stine. He is the author of the Goosebumps series, and Marc Brown. He's the illustrator and author of the Arthur books. Together, they've written a couple of children's picture books, including the latest one, Why Did the Monster Cross the Road? We have a review of that by our kids crew member Jude coming up later on the show. And there's lots more with Marc Brown and R.L. Stine. This is the Children's Hour, and this is the Verve Pipe.
Yeah. can write a song. You can write a song. You can write a song and then we'll all sing along. You can write a song and then we'll all sing along. So first just take it slow. First just take it slow. First just take it slow and make it up as you go. First just take it slow and make it up as you go. You can scream it or sing it softly. Sing it very well, sing it awfully. You can yell it or you can croon it. You can pay someone to auto-tune it. You can write a song. You can write a song. You can write a song and then we'll all sing along. First just take it slow. First just take it slow. First just take it slow and make it up as you go. First just take it slow and make it up as you go. Sing it high or sing it low. You're the one who says which way it's gotta go. Get to your chorus, don't make it too long. Or you could steal one from one Zevon. Just like I did. Hey, I know that. Stand back here, son. Guess what? We just wrote a song. We just wrote a song. Yeah, we just wrote a song and then you all sang along. We just wrote a song and then you all sang along. Yeah, now it's time to go. It's nearly time to go. And we're so glad we got to play this song at your show. Yeah, we're so glad we got to play the song at your
This is the Children's Hour, and I'm Katie Stone. Today, we're with the kids on Zoom because our guests are Marc Brown, the author and illustrator of the Arthur books and television series, and R.L. Stine, the author of the Goosebumps books. Together, they've collaborated on a couple of children's picture books, including the latest, Why Did the Monster Cross the Road? We have so many questions for our guests. We're going to go over to Nina.
What would you say the most difficult part about writing a book is?
I think writing books are easy. And I never tell. I hate it when authors come into a school and they say writing is hard. Well, I'm on a lot of writer panels, and some writer always says, writing is hard. Writing is so hard. I have to lock my kids in the garage so I have time to write. It's so hard. And I think writing isn't hard at all. Writing is a pleasure. Writing is fun. And you don't ever want to think of writing as being hard. You know, you don't have to wear a hard hat. You don't need special shoes. There's no heavy lifting. You're just there creating characters, creating worlds. And I just think writing is fun all the time.
Oh, Bob, I feel so different. It's hard work for me. It is. I get an idea for a story, and I have to, you know how many times I write my story over before I'll even send it to the publisher? At least 30 times. And then, you know, the editor makes suggestions and you make corrections. It's like, I can't wait to get to the pictures. And so it's hard work. The book I'm working on now, I've been working on for 10 years.
Oh, Marc, don't tell me this. Really, look, I have tears. I
think what I'm hearing is that some people, when they go to write, the words are just pouring out of them. Like like you, Bob, R.L. Stine. But I think a lot of us are like Marc Brown, and maybe we feel a little bit like we aren't ready yet to start writing a book. So how do you start? What's your first thing that you come up with? Is it the idea for the whole book, or do you just come up with the first sentence and then it flows? How do you start?
I don't try to come up with ideas because I've done every story a human can write. I haven't left anything. And this is true. My books all start with a title. I think of the title first, and then I get a good title, like Scariest Book Ever, the new Goosebumps book. And then I start to think of the idea. Well, what would be in the scariest book ever? Would it be about zombies? Would the monsters? Would the kids be turned? And I start thinking about an idea after I have the title. It's just a trick. I think that's backwards from almost every other author, because every other author will get an idea, start writing, and then think of the title. But if I don't have the title, I can't write the book. And sometimes I'll get an idea for a story, and I can't think of a good title, so I throw out the idea.
What about you, Marc? Do you start with a title too?
No, I start with something that happens in real life, like my kids not wanting to go to day camp, or my son having a wiggly tooth, or someone not being able to learn how to ride a bike, or, somebody worried about how to write a story. So the things that I write about are based on real life. That's what I find most interesting. And that's what I like to play with. And, I'm not afraid to have a little fun with it. So the way it happens in real life may be interesting, but, I'd like to add a little humor. And so that's what I look for, adding humor to real life.
One thing I remember is that back in third grade, Goosebumps books were very, very popular. But for me, I was always too scared to end up reading them. And then Arthur books, these were, they were a lot more cozy and they're a lot more accessible. So the thing I'm wondering is, how did both of you end up writing really, really popular children's books, despite the fact that they were so different from each other?
That's an interesting question.
Very interesting. We're probably the most unlikely team in children's books.
We are. I just feel it's luck. It's all luck. Goosebumps came out. I said, let's try 2 or 3. The books came out. They sat on the shelf for a long time. And then kids discovered them. Somehow kids discovered them and brought them into school and showed them to their friends. And that's how Goosebumps took off. It's a secret kids network. Kids totally control it. And then somehow kids telling kids, and Goosebumps just took off all over the world.
A secret kids network sharing a love of books. That's what we're doing on the Children's Hour today. We're talking with R.L. Stine. He is the author of the Goosebumps books, and Marc Brown, the author of the Arthur books. Together, they've written a new children's book called Why Did the Monster Cross the Road? We have a review of that coming up in just a little bit, and more with our guests, Marc Brown and R.L. Stine. Right after this is Jesse Jukebox with books right here on the Children's Hour.
Sometimes I like to sit and read under the shady maple tree. I read my letters A to Z and some words that are new to me. I like reading books. There's so many books to read. There's magazines and comic books, novels and biographies. I can learn a fact or 3, be swept away in fantasy. I like reading books.
listening to the Children's Hour. That's Crowander in the background. Today's show with R.L. Stine and Marc Brown becomes a podcast after it's a radio show. If you like what you're hearing, please give us a review. Whatever your podcast app is you're using, let everybody know how much you love the Children's Hour. You can tag us on social media. We are at TCH Radio. More with R.L. Stine and Marc Brown coming right up.
You're listening to the Children's Hour, Kids Public Radio. We'll be right back.
Thanks to the Outpost Performance Space in Albuquerque, New Mexico for hosting the Children's Hour. Support for the Children's Hour provided by New Mexico Arts, a division of the New Mexico Department of Cultural Affairs, and by the National Endowment for the Arts. Support for the Children's Hour provided by the City of Albuquerque Cultural Services Department and the Urban Enhancement Trust Fund.
This is Jude from the Children's Hour with a book review on Why Did the Monster Cross the Road by author R.L. Stine, illustrated by Marc Brown, and published by Orchard Books, an imprint of Scholastic Inc. The story takes place outside as one monster tries to cheer up another monster by telling jokes. In the end, they learn that joy and laughter arise in the most unexpected ways. I really enjoyed this book and think that it would really appeal to elementary age kids. I really like the textured look of the illustrations and the bright colors. This is a fun book to read and great for young readers. This book is called Why Did the Monster Cross the Road by R.L. Stine, illustrated by Marc Brown, and published by Orchard Books, an imprint of Scholastic Inc.
That's Jude from our kids crew, right here on the Children's Hour. We have more with Marc Brown and R.L. Stine coming right up.
You don't stop talking to trees. Ooh, I know they're listening. I hope you don't stop dreaming your dreams. Ooh, I know they're happening. I hope you still use your voice, even if it's the hardest choice. Hey, hey, we've all got it inside us. Hey, hey, a few verses and a chorus. Hey, I'll sing along. Go on and write your song, song, song. Song, song, song. Just write your song, song, song. And if you don't know how it should go, ooh, start with a melody. And if you don't know how you should sing, ooh, sing in harmony. I hope you still use your voice, even if it's the hardest choice. Hey, hey, we've all got it inside us. Hey, hey, a few verses and a chorus. Hey, hey, I'll sing along. Go on and write your song. Let it start at the heart of you. A song where it goes, no one knows but you. A song about your day, about the way we are. We've all got it inside us. A few verses and a chorus. I'll sing along. Go on and write. Hey, hey, we've all got it inside us. A few verses and a chorus. Oh, I'll sing along. Go on and write your song, song, song. Song, song, song. Just write your song, song, song. Go on and write yours.
That was Emily Arrow from her Sing Along with Emily Arrow with Write Your Song. You're listening to the Children's Hour And you know who writes their songs and stories? R.L. Stine and Marc Brown. R.L. Stine is the author of more than 150 Goosebumps books, and he also is now in the movies. There is a Disney Plus series that just came out. It's the Goosebumps series. Look for it on Disney Plus. He can't actually speak about it because he's in a union that is on strike right now. So I can tell you about it. It's called Goosebumps. We also have Marc Brown. He's the author of the Arthur series and a lot more questions from the kids on our crew. Let's go over to Joe.
What is your favorite book that you've written?
Well, I have a bunch of Goosebumps books, I think. I think The Haunted Mask. Do you know that book? It's about Carly Beth, this girl who wants to be scary at Halloween time, and she tries on this ugly mask, and it sticks to her face, and she can't get it off, and it starts to turn her evil. And I think I'm proud of that one. I think that's my best Halloween story, The Haunted Mask.
Oh, I don't have a favorite. I have a favorite book I like to read aloud from the Arthur series, Arthur's Teacher Trouble.
How long does it typically take you to write a book, both of you guys?
Well, I do a complete chapter by chapter outline of every single book before I write it. That's why I do all the thinking first. And my outline will be chapter 1. This is what happens. Here's some dialogue. Here's the chapter ending. Chapter 2. So by the time I sit down to write the book, I know everything that's going to happen in the book. I've done all the hard work. My outline usually takes me a week to write. And since I've done so much work and have it all planned, I can write a Goosebumps book in maybe 3 weeks.
That lines up with the best advice I got for writing a picture book when I was starting out. The editor, Ole Riesum at Random House, said, you have to know where you're going. You have a starting point and an ending point, and you try to keep that line as direct and simple as possible from start to finish.
Yeah, I have to know the ending before I start to write, because then I know how to fool the kids, and I know how to keep them from guessing the ending.
Wow.
You're a sly one, Mr. Stine.
You are.
How do you make a good story that you think will engage kids, like in reading them?
Well, what I like to do is all my books are with kids. There are always a couple kids in the story, but I just like to put in a lot of twists and surprises. I don't want to have a straight story that just goes along. I want somewhere in the book, I want the reader to say, oh my goodness, I had no idea that's what was happening. I want like a major twist. And I think that's one reason kids like Goosebumps so much, because they don't go in a straight line. They twist and turn all the time.
Yeah, I like to put myself in the position of the characters and imagine what they would say. And I think the character I have the most fun writing for is DW. And I love getting inside her head and coming up with lines for her. But yeah, my stories are pretty kind of natural. I want to be where a third grader lives, and that's where I try and put myself.
What is the most valuable piece of advice you have to give to a young author?
I think I already did, and that is have fun with the writing. Don't think of writing as hard. Just think, man, this is fun. I'm really loving it. I think that's my best advice.
I would say don't give up. And I would say look at who your competition is. Have a good idea of who your audience is. What age you want to write for. Do your homework, go to bookstores, go to the library and read books from that section of the books. And it will give you, ideas and inspiration. And then I would just say try and be as honest about what it is that you want to put down on the page. Make it sound real and read it out loud. You can tell where the mistakes are when you hear it out loud. And that helps me a lot.
Yes, reading aloud makes reading so much fun. Speaking of making reading fun, our guests, Marc Brown, the author of the Arthur books and TV show and illustrator, as well as R.L. Stine of Goosebumps fame. These two make reading fun for kids worldwide. Marc Brown and R.L. Stine, we just want to thank you for all the good work you do for kids. And thanks for being with us on the Children's Hour, too.
And, where would we be without you guys who read our books and watch our programs? So we thank you.
Yeah, we're very grateful.
Bye.
Bye.
Bookworm reads a book a day. Though the sun is out, he won't come out to play. I called him on a Monday morning, not too late, but he was deep into a book and would not take the bait. I called him on a Tuesday afternoon for tea, but he was just beginning to read the history of history. Bookworm reads a book a day. Though the sun is out, he won't come out to play. Called him on a Wednesday evening just to chat. He was reading a Western while wearing a cowboy hat. Called him on a Thursday mid-afternoon, but he was going down for a nap, reading Goodnight Moon. Bookworm reads a book a day. Though the sun is out, he won't come out to play. Called him on a Friday, he had a good excuse. He was laughing too hard to talk from reading Dr. Seuss. I called him on a Saturday at the crack of dawn. He put down the phone to finish a book, and I'm still holding on. Go! On a Sunday, just before midnight, but he was reading a mystery in the dark with a little light. Bookworm reads a book a day. Though the sun is out, he won't come out to play. Bookworm.
It's the ABC of what you mean to me. D-E-F, you're a G to me.
You're awesome, beautiful, curious, daring, earthy, funny, and fine. Got a great, hilarious, interesting, joyful, kind, and lovable mind. You're a nerdy oracle pirate. You're quirky, regal, and stylish. You're a timeless, ultraviolet, witty, excellent, young, and you're like ABCs of what you mean to me. D-E-F, you and G to me.
Okay, kids. Now it's your turn. Can you make it all the way from A to Z? Let's check it out.
You're awesome, beautiful, curious, daring, earthy, funny, and fine. Got a great, hilarious, interesting, joyful, kind, and lovable mind. You're a nerdy oracle pirate. You're quirky, regal, and stylish. You're a timeless, ultraviolet, witty, excellent, young, and yours and like
ABCs of what you mean to me. D-E-F, you a G to me.
Now we're gonna try to go back and forth. Does that sound cool?
Okay, that sounds good.
Alright, let's do it.
You are awesome, beautiful, curious,
daring, earthy, funny, and fine.
You got a great, hilarious, interesting,
joyful, kind, and lovable mind.
You're a nerdy oracle pirate.
You're quirky, regal, and stylish.
You're a timeless, ultraviolet, witty, excellent, young, and yours alike.
All alone at the party, I felt a bit left out. Wherever I stood, I was in the way of someone having fun without me. They're all so happy and healthy. They're all so fine and sleek. Like the girl over there with the long brown hair. Oh, I could never aspire to meet her. But away in a quiet corner was a cozy reading nook, and the table by the armchair held an inviting little book. Oh, there's nothing like a book to take you away from the cares and strife of every day. There's nothing like a book to let you know all the wondrous things this world can show. There's nothing like a book. So I was snug in the armchair, caught up in the world of the book. So rapt was I paid no mind to the party going on around me, till there was the girl with the long brown hair saying,
"May I take a look? I couldn't help but notice you, 'cause that's my favorite book. And
there's nothing like a book to take you away from the cares and strife of every day. There's nothing like a book to let you know all the wondrous things this world can show. There's nothing like a book." Oh, a favorite book is a special friend, and it just might bring you luck. Now we still share the same armchair, and we each have our nose in a book. Oh, there's nothing like a book to take you away from the cares and strife of every day. There's nothing like a book to let you know all the wondrous things this world can show. There's nothing like a book.
That was The Princess of Serendip. ABC You Got a G is Pierce Freelon and his mom, Nana Freelon, the amazing jazz vocalist. Casper Baby Pants from Keep It Real brought us Bookworm. We're going to go out with one more. This is the Melody Makers with the Arthur theme song. We'll catch you next time for another edition of the Children's Hour.
Every day when you're walking down the street, and everybody that you meet has an original point of view. And I say, hey, what a wonderful kind of day, if you can learn to work and play and get along with each other. You got to listen to your heart, listen to the beat, listen to the rhythm of the street. Open up your eyes, open up your ears, get together and make things better by working together. It's a simple message and it comes from the heart. Oh, believe in yourself, for that's the place to start. And I say, hey, what a wonderful kind of day, if we can learn to work and play and get along with each other. You got to listen to your heart, listen to the beat, listen to the rhythm of the street. Open up your eyes, open up your ears.
The Children's Hour is produced by the Children's Hour Incorporated, a New Mexico nonprofit.
You can find photos, links, learn-along guides, and more about us at childrenshour.org.
Many thanks to Marc Brown and R.L. Stine for being with us on the show today. Today's episode was written by me, Katie Stone, with production support from Christina Stella, Sarah Gabrielli, and Thaniel Lentz. Look for pictures, links, and more at childrenshour.org. This episode is called Reading and Writing.
Find our podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, or go to our patreon.com/The Children's Hour. Or ask your smart speaker to play the Children's Hour podcast.
Our theme music was written by C.K. Barlow.
The Children's Hour is distributed by Native Voice One, the Native American Radio Network.
Thanks for listening to the Children's Hour, Kids Public Radio.